former president of the United States. He's been tied up in court. He can't go campaign. It is, in my estimation, full-on election interference. In his estimation, most certainly election interference. We'll see at some point whether the Supreme Court has to weigh in on that one. But anyway, I want you to see him because just moments ago, he came out in front of the courthouse and had a few things to say. Let's listen in.
The government just said that they want 2 to 3 more weeks. That means they want to keep me off the trail for 2 to 3 more weeks. Now, anybody in there would realize that there's no case. They don't have a case. Every legal scholar says they don't have a case. This is just a political witch hunt. It's election interfering. And this is really, truly election interference, and it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. And in every poll, I'm leading by a lot. And they figure maybe they can do something here. Maybe they can do. This case should be over. This case should have never been brought. By the way, Alvin Bragg didn't want to bring the case. Your previous DA didn't bring the case. The FEC said they threw it away. They said, you got to be kidding. Southern District didn't bring the case. Nobody brought the case. And then Alvin Bragg brought the case as soon as, when I'm running and leading, that's when they decided, let's go bring a case. So it's a disgrace. But we just heard 2 to 3 more weeks. I thought they were finished today. And they are finished today if you look at what's happening. I thought they were going to be finished today, and they want 2 to 3 more weeks. The judge asked them, and playing right into the judge's hands. The judge is so happy about 2 to 3 more weeks. Because they all want to keep me off the campaign trail. That's all this is about. This is about election interference. How do we stop it? And it's a disgrace. And then you have the other thing that maybe is even more disgraceful is the gag order, where I can't basically, I have to watch every word I tell you people. You ask me a question, a simple question, I'd like to give it, but I can't talk about it. Because this judge has given me a gag order and said you'll go to jail if you violate it. And frankly, you know what? Our Constitution is much more important than jail. It's not even close. I'll do that sacrifice any day. But what's happening here is a disgrace, and the appellate courts ought to get involved. New York looks so bad. The New York system of so-called justice looks so bad between this judge in Gorin and Kaplan. You triple team with corrupt judges. Is a disgrace to our nation. So I should be out there campaigning, and they said 2, and the way I look at it, they're really talking about 3 weeks more. And by the way, they didn't even have enough to fill out the time. You know, we got out early today because they didn't have another witness. The government didn't have another witness. So they didn't even have time to fill it out. And then they complained. So I'll tell you what, I hope you report the story accurately. This is a real threat to our country, and it's a serious threat to the Constitution. In the meantime, Columbia University announced today they're not going to have their graduation. They're not going to have a ceremony. And that's happening all over the country. Our country is a mess. And the most important day in the history of our country is going to be November 5th of this year. That's called Election Day. It's going to be the most important day in the history of our country. What's going on with this judge is a disaster. Between the gag orders and the hatred he's got for me. And everybody sees it, okay? And you see it better than anybody. God bless the USA.
So I'm pretty sure he just cost himself a few $1,000. What do you guys think? So Judge Merchan is, in my estimation, a bit compromised because you see, he has a daughter. We've talked about this before, who works for a company and earns her money trying to get the word out for the Democrats, including Adam Schiff, including Kamala Harris. These are just some of the people that she's worked for over the years. And she's actually using news items like this particular trial and previous trials to raise money for the Democrats. She keeps a percentage of that money that she raises. So according to the New York Post, some $93 million has gone through her firm. Again, raising money based off of a case like this. Trying to get the word out to other Democrats. Okay, you need to fight this, you need to fight this. And then she pockets part of the money. So that seems to me to be kind of crossing the line. I mean, Judge Merchan, you don't have to take this case. And in the interest of your daughter and her career, maybe you just shouldn't, right? I mean, I'm all about the Chinese wall, but your daughter is making money off of something that you're presiding over, which is really unseemly. So that's number one. Number two, He's not allowed to speak. They've muzzled him like you wouldn't believe. And every single time he says something against anybody, including the likes of Michael Cohen, who gets to go off on him all day long, well, guess what? They fine him.